The instant I stepped inside my house, I knew something was off. After spending 2 blissful weeks in Bali surrounded by turquoise water and cocktails, I expected to return to comfort. Instead, I froze in the entryway, muddy footprints smeared across my spotless hardwood floors. Someone had been here. My suitcase slipped from my hand as I followed the dirty trail into the living room. The coffee table had been nudged a good 6 inches from its usual spot. Nothing appeared stolen, yet the atmosphere felt violated. Then I saw it. A yellow sticky note clung to the refrigerator. Routine inspection. Nothing to worry about. Karen Williams, HOA president. A chill swept through me. What kind of routine inspection justified entering my locked home? Before leaving, I had been meticulous. Lights on timers, mail delivery paused, and my neighbor Tom tasked with keeping watch. Pinewood Estates was supposed to be secure, a gated community with perfectly groomed lawns and strict HOA rules. I paid steep fees for protection and peace of mind, not for this. Never had I imagined the HOA president herself would break in. I immediately phoned Tom. "Hey, did you see anyone going into my house while I was away?" I asked, struggling to steady my voice. "No," he said slowly, "but I did notice Karen's car parked in front of your place a few days ago. I figured she was dropping off a newsletter or something. My security cameras would tell the truth." I opened the app and scrolled back to last Tuesday at 2:17 p.m. There she was, Karen Williams, pastel pantsuit and all. She glanced around nervously before producing a key, my key. She unlocked the door and disappeared inside for nearly 40 minutes. The footage captured her touching furniture, checking shelves for dust, sifting through unopened mail, and even opening my refrigerator while scribbling on a clipboard. When she finally left, she wore the same smug grin she always flaunted at HOA meetings when shooting down requests to paint fences off-regulation colors. Rage boiled in me. I drove straight to her house, the one with razor-sharp hedges and a front yard sign that proudly declared HOA president like it was a government office. She answered with her rehearsed smile, which faltered when she saw my face. "Oh, you're back. How was your vacation?" she chirped as if nothing had happened. "Why were you in my house, Karen?" I demanded. She didn't flinch. "It was just a wellness check," she said breezily. "We do them for residents who are away for a while." "For your own protection," my skin crawled. "Show me where in the bylaws it says that," I pressed. Her smile stiffened. "It's an unwritten policy. As president, I have discretionary authority to keep community standards intact. But I knew better. As an attorney, I had read the HOA agreement thoroughly. Entry without consent was only allowed during true emergencies, fires, floods, or structural hazards. Nothing about random checks. Over the next few days, I dug deeper. Residents whispered unsettling stories. Some noticed small changes at home after returning from trips, but assumed forgetfulness. Others admitted they'd seen Karen lurking around empty houses, but stayed quiet out of fear. Finally, Martin, 3 doors down, confessed, "She came into my place while I was in the hospital last year, claimed she had to verify I wasn't breaking codes. What was I supposed to do? She threatens fines over garbage cans being out 10 minutes past pickup." Piece by piece, I compiled a case, my video footage, neighbor testimonies, a copy of the HOA rules with nothing mentioning wellness checks, and proof that emergency keys were only to be used for actual crises. I also uncovered that Karen had been weaponizing her unauthorized snooping, collecting dirt to punish homeowners she disliked. The night before the monthly HOA meeting, I filed a police report for unlawful entry. The next evening, the community center overflowed with residents. Karen, smug as ever, sat at the board table with a gavel in hand. When the floor opened for new business, I stood up, my evidence folder under my arm. "I have a grave concern," I said clearly. "It involves unauthorized entry into residents' homes." Karen's head jerked up, her gaze hardening to slits. I connected my laptop to the projector, and the room filled with the unmistakable footage of her unlocking my front door. Silence gripped the meeting. "What you're looking at," I told them evenly, "is our HOA president using the emergency lockbox key to enter my home while I was on vacation. This isn't just a breach of HOA bylaws, it's a violation of state law." Karen's face flushed crimson as she slammed her gavel. "Out of order. These are wellness checks meant to protect the community." I ignored her outburst and queued up testimonies from other residents who had endured the same invasions. Unease rippled through the board as I pressed on. Nowhere in our bylaws is there mention of wellness checks. What is written clearly is that emergency keys are to be used only in cases of fire, water leaks, or threats of serious property damage. At that moment, 2 uniformed officers entered quietly from the back of the room. Karen spotted them, sprang to her feet so fast her chair toppled over, and shrieked, "This is ridiculous! I was safeguarding the neighborhood!" People leave windows open, appliances running, even bring in banned items. I was protecting our covenants. Her voice rose so sharply several people winced. "So you're admitting to entering homes without consent looking for supposed violations?" I asked in a low voice. The audience sat frozen as Karen doubled down. "Someone has to keep order. Without me, property values would collapse. Next thing you know, we'd have purple houses and pink flamingo ornaments on every lawn." Her composure disintegrated completely. She jabbed a finger at me. "And your trash can was visible from the street last month. And your blinds, wrong color palette." The officer stepped forward. "Mrs. Williams," one said firmly, "you need to come with us. You're under arrest for trespassing, unlawful entry, and abuse of authority." Karen's expression shifted from fury to shock as her Miranda rights were read. "This is outrageous," she screeched as the officers handcuffed her. "I'm the HOA president. I have keys to all your houses. Who's going to make sure the rules are followed now?" Everyone watched in stunned silence as the same woman who fined neighbors for half-inch tall grass was led out in cuffs, still insisting she was just doing her job. A board member cleared his throat nervously. "I think we need to schedule an emergency election for a new president." The vote passed without a single objection. 3 months later, Karen's case reached court. The judge showed no sympathy for her claims that HOA power outweighed basic property rights and privacy. She received an 18-month prison sentence for multiple counts of breaking and entering, along with additional trespassing charges from more than a dozen residents who came forward after her arrest. She was also fined $25,000 in restitution. When the verdict was read, Karen's carefully maintained image shattered completely. She sobbed as she was led away. But who will enforce the rules? Who will protect property values now?